Allison. I'm a reading specialist and I help parents of kids who are struggling with reading. In this video, I'm going to share some tips that you can use for prioritizing practicing reading with your child. Super important, right? Even when life gets busy. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and do so now, and then also hit the little bell so that you don't miss out on any of the videos that I post about helping your child with reading. Okay, so some real talk. Sometimes life gets hectic. In the comments, would you share, when life gets hectic, does practicing reading with your child fall by the wayside? A little bit or a lot? Let me know in a comment. Now, no shame if that happens to you. This happens to everyone, right? Like, holidays, sports events, family, events, sickness, like life happens. But at the same time, consistent practice is so important, especially if your child is struggling with reading. Even if they're going to school, that's great. Kids need more than what a typical school can provide. So that's why it's so important to make sure that practice happens even when life does get a little bit hectic. So let's talk about some strategies for that. Okay, so my first strategy is to create or use some kind of calendar to visually check off when you practice reading with your child. Now, this just could be like a normal wall calendar. It could also be like this, something that we use in our Rising Readers program, where every time you practice, your child gets to color in a book. And not only is it rewarding for you and your child to see like, oh yeah, we've practiced all these times, we're making progress, it can also be a way to reward them and to celebrate your accomplishments. So it is an accomplishment to stay on schedule with reading practice. It's something valuable and something that you should celebrate. Maybe you go out for ice cream, or you take them to a special park, the kids to a special park when they've filled in like 6 books or checked off, however many days on the calendar. How you work this is totally up to you, but having some kind of way to mark it visually, it gets the whole family involved. Maybe other family members can support you, and it's a really good way to celebrate progress too. My second strategy is to make it really easy to practice. So, are there pockets of time, like when you're waiting for dinner to be done, have a stack of books in the kitchen, or, even like, for example, maybe you're sitting in the car rider line and waiting for another child to be picked up. Have some books in the car, have some books in the family room. Make it easy on yourself so that when those pockets of time hit, you are ready with a book. Another strategy, sort of similar, is to see if you can link reading practice to another habit that you're already doing. So maybe like before school, your kids watch TV. Well, instead of that time, they're already ready, they have that routine, just swap out reading for watching television. Or maybe, when you're preparing dinner, like right before you prepare dinner, or right after you eat dinner, or right after they brush their teeth in the morning. If you link it to a habit that you're already doing, then you're more likely to be successful, and there's actually research behind that. My next strategy is to remember that even 5 minutes is better than nothing. So let's say you don't have as much time as you hope to, no big deal, use the time that you have. And what we want to remember above all is that we are going for progress over perfection. Just because you don't have maybe the 20 minutes you wanted to, don't scrap it and just be like, oh my gosh, we're off track. And then you start feeling bad about it, and then it just becomes this cycle. If you get off track, no big deal. Just say to yourself, it happens to everybody. Get on track the next day and do the best that you can, because this time that you're investing in your child's reading will pay off for them academically. It'll pay off for their future. So much depends on reading, even their self-confidence. So this is not something that we just want to let fall by the wayside, even though life is busy, right? Life is hectic. This is something that we need to prioritize. All right, thanks so much for watching. I hope these tips were helpful. Before you leave, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.